The result of knowing and stopping. In daily life, emotions arise all the time. Happiness appears. Sadness appears. Anger appears. Fear appears. We cannot stop emotions from arising. But we can choose whether to follow them or to know and stop. Knowing and stopping does not mean suppressing emotions. It does not mean pretending not to feel. It means knowing clearly that an emotion is present and not moving with it. For example, when anger arises, instead of thinking more, instead of speaking immediately, instead of acting from that anger, we simply know anger is here. And we stop right there. When we stop, the first thing that changes is the mind. The emotion may still be present, but the mind is no longer dragged into it. It is like seeing fire without stepping into the flames. When the mind does not follow, thoughts naturally begin to slow down. Thoughts depend on emotion as fuel. When we stop feeding them, they gradually fade away. We do not need to fight thoughts. We do not need to push them away. Simply by not following, thoughts dissolve on their own. The next result is this: suffering does not continue. Usually, one small emotion leads to many layers of suffering. One moment becomes a whole story. One story becomes a whole day. Sometimes a whole life. But when we know and stop, suffering ends. Where it begins. Over time, we begin to see clearly that emotions arise by themselves, stay for a while, and pass away. They do not ask for permission. They do not stay forever. And slowly, we understand something deeply. Emotions are not who we are. They are experiences, moving through awareness. As this understanding grows, attachment begins to loosen. We no longer rush to fix things. We no longer rush to reject what we feel. We simply know and allow space. This creates something very important. Inner space. Not emptiness, but space between feeling and reaction. With this space, we regain choice. We can choose whether to speak or remain silent, whether to act or pause, whether to respond with clarity instead of habit. When the mind does not follow emotions, speech changes. Words become fewer. Tone becomes softer. Speech comes from awareness, not from reaction. Actions also change. Decisions become clearer, because they are no longer driven by emotional urgency. Gradually, mistakes in life decrease. Most importantly, a quiet peace begins to appear. A peace that does not depend on circumstances. Not waiting for people to change. Not waiting for situations to improve. Not waiting for the world to become perfect. Simply by knowing and stopping, peace arises right where we are. To summarize simply, knowing and stopping is not escaping emotions. It is refusing to lose ourselves inside them. When we do not follow, the mind slowly becomes free. Not free from life, but free from being controlled by emotional currents. You do not need to believe this. You do not need to remember every word. Just observe. In real life, with real emotions, understanding will not come from thinking. It will come from seeing directly. And that seeing changes everything.